Welcome back to the Doomsday Clock. This week, we're talking about the 2014 film Captain America: The Winter Soldier. My name is Jack, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, Eric.
Hello, I'm Eric.
I think I've seen this movie 3 or 4 times in total. I don't quite know. I think I've seen it a good amount of times. How many times have you seen this movie before today?
Like 1.5, maybe, at best.
Okay. Yeah, so this is on the higher end of the ones that you've seen.
So out of phase 1 and 2, yeah.
I'm actually incredibly excited to get to talking about this movie. But before we can do that, we have to play our game. And so it's up to you this week. Do you want to guess the budget or box office?
Well, let me. Is it? I mean, both are gonna be kind of weird because Iron Man 3 made like $1.2 billion.
Yeah, so, Iron Man 3 made a ton of money, and then Thor: The Dark World was bad.
Existed.
So I don't know, because the first Thor wasn't great, and then the first Avenger didn't do as well.
Yeah, let's do budget. We did box office last time.
Let's do budget. What do I think this movie cost?
This is kind of hard. I'll shoot for it.
There's a lot of CG in this movie.
Yeah.
The Russos are good at shooting on low budgets. All right, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
So you said 185 million. I said 165 million. We're gonna go ahead and look up.
Yeah, I didn't want to go as high as 200 because I don't even think anything's been that high yet.
The budget was 170. So.
I was close.
Okay. It was our closest one yet. The Google is just giving me 170, then the AI overview says between 170 and 177. How much do you think this movie made?
800 mil?
This movie made 714 mil.
Okay.
So pretty close. So
what is the budget for it?
You're homing in. The budget is reported according to Box Office Mojo, which is what we've gone off of for all the box office and for most of the budget stuff, I believe, is 170.
170.
So,
okay.
Yeah. It's one of those things where we don't 100% know, but that's what's reported, and that's what we have to go off of. 714 is pretty good. That's better.
That is pretty good.
I think it's a bigger increase than it was from Iron Man 1 to Iron Man 2. So.
I mean, 170 budget, too. That's pretty. That's some light.
Yeah. It's lighter than these will get, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and talk about what I think about this movie, and then I'll let you go. I love this movie. This movie's so good. This movie, you said right before we started recording, this movie flies by. The action in this movie is so good. All the character work in this movie, like 99% of the time, works incredibly well. It's hard to talk a lot about this movie without spoiling a lot of it. But this is, I think even looking back, most people agree this is one of the best ones. It's just incredibly consistent throughout the entire thing. It's a fun spy thriller, and it takes everything that you really liked from the first Captain America movie, I think enhances it and really builds out this world in a way that feels like it's building out the world while not feeling like it is a negative to the movie while it does that. What did you think of Captain America: The Winter Soldier?
I really liked it. I'm sometimes I'm like the negative Nancy that has to like ground us sometimes, But this one I'm gonna be right in front because Cap my goat. It's been known. I love my boy. And this is like one of the more unique MCU movies. Obviously, Guardians is next week, so that's not gonna hold up super well, and we get weird later on. But at this point in the MCU, this movie is like really, really unique because you don't really have anything like a spy thriller in any of the other movies. But I got like little nitpicks.
Yeah,
but
you really don't.
I think it's a really good movie.
It's very much pretty good. I'll go ahead and just get us started because my first note is that Sam and Steve are great from their first moments. I would be interested to know chemistry wise, like when they did chemistry tests, like these two are incredible together. Anthony Mackie and Chris Evans. I think everyone in this movie has really good chemistry, though, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I was about to say, honestly, it's not like just specific to these two.
No, I think I want to talk about Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans' chemistry later because I think it's incredible. But these two in this opening I mean, On Your Left has obviously become like this iconic joke from this movie. It's Chekhov's On Your Left because it comes up at the end again. But man, it's just such an iconic opening over DC with his theme playing. I don't think you can get much better.
Mm-hmm. And then they reference Marvin Gaye, so
They and Chekhov's Marvin Gaye. If you reference Marvin Gaye in the first act, it has to play, or he has to play in the third act.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the fan fiction between them now, or do you want to talk about it later?
So here's the thing. I think let's start with the fan fiction between them now because there's another topic that we're going to get to fan fiction wise later.
Okay. We're back to our regularly scheduled program of us talking about any fan fiction between any two male, or I guess it could be same-sex relationships. I guess there's not just been women together, you know?
There's been zero. First of all, let me go ahead and, in retrospect, rate every single MCU movie. Iron Man 1, 0. Incredible Hulk, 0. Iron Man 2, 5. Thor, 0. Captain America: The First Avenger, 0. The Avengers, 0. Iron Man 3, 0. Thor: The Dark World, 0. The Winter Soldier, 0. Iron Man 2 gets a 5 because there's a little bit of implied Yuri between Black Widow and Pepper, but other than that, I think that no two women even interact in any other movies.
You can say the same for Avengers. I mean, it's like a sausage fest in that helicarrier, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that movie's... Yeah. Okay, there are 2,900 works in Steve Rogers / Sam Wilson.
2,900?
The latest one being published yesterday. Yeah.
It's pretty modest. That's acceptable.
It's acceptable. That's an acceptable number. I think... Sorry, one of the tags of this one is premature ejaculation.
Okay.
I think that this ship is very much overshadowed by
the obvious.
The rest of this movie.
Yeah.
And believe me, we're gonna talk about it. I think this is a respectable ship, if I'm being honest. If I'm ranking the gay ships that we've brought up so far.
I think in the movie it only works one way though, because like, yeah, Steve learns, he likes Sam, but Sam's like obsessed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and let's be real, Steve only has eyes for one man.
Yeah. Obviously. It's a point in this movie.
Let's be incredibly real about that. But I think we'll come back to our AO3 section in a little bit.
All right.
What do you think about this whole opening rescue? Do you have anything else to say about the opening with Steve and Sam? And if not, then we'll go on to the rescue mission.
Not really. I mean, we can move on to the rescue mission, but yeah, I think they obviously got chemistry, so we can just move on because it comes back later. But yeah. I do love that Steve obviously is like still working for like SHIELD, because I mean, why wouldn't he? You know, and he's still like the leader of every team he's on.
Yeah, he's the captain.
And jumping out with a parachute is Aura. I don't even care.
It's Aura. I really like Natasha and Steve's banter through this entire movie. Black Widow, I think, too, and actually. America. It's such an odd pairing that you wouldn't think work. These two have incredible chemistry throughout this entire movie. I think I really want to talk about it in their spy scene later. Yeah. But this opening, them just like bantering, her trying to find him a date.
Yes, it's so cute. It's so cute.
It's such great humor. It's so cute. It's one of those things that I'm like, yeah, this is great. These are just two people. Like, this makes them feel like two people. And then you get Metal Gear Steve of him, like, choking a guy out and like laying him on the ground. And I actually really like the action in this opening. I think that we talked a lot about the hand-to-hand combat in the previous movies kind of suffering. Not in this movie. Not in this movie at all.
My only issue, I got this is just a little thing for me. The Russos directing in this, it's a little weird for me personally. This is one of my actual like nitpicks of this movie. Is I don't think they're very interesting in this movie when it comes to their directing and their camera work and stuff.
Yeah,
I think it's very shot bland, and with what they can do later, that they show us that they can do later, this is very much like their first go at things, you know?
Yeah.
I don't love there's like a couple fights in here where the camera cuts like every half second. But the choreography is really well done. It sounds like I'm like hating on the action. The action's solid. It's just that's unfortunate with the direction for me. But
Some of the direction stuff is rough. I have written down here, I am a certified shaky cam hater, but I think it's kind of used well here. I do agree that it cuts a lot, especially in this opening scene. I think later on they let the choreography kind of breathe a little bit.
It gets better later, but this is just like the first bit of the movie.
I'm going to, in the future of the show, I'm going to say a lot of things about the Russo brothers. Actually, that to be put out there in the open. I think they do a lot right in this movie. I think this movie is pretty well directed throughout most of it. There are some like weird cut stuff in the fights, but I have to give them credit. It's pretty good.
I think they're at the very least they're consistent. I think that it's a little bland in this movie, but it's inarguably consistent, and I mean that's good enough for this movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I wrote Steve/Batroc is probably the best choreographed fight in the MCU to this point. Even if I don't love all the shaky cam stuff, the second he throws the shield away, and they just start hand to hand.
Aura. It's so aura.
It's so aura. And you know what's crazy? It's the best fight in the MCU to this point, and it's probably the third best fight in this movie.
I don't know if it's my favorite fight in the MCU because I think that ending of Iron Man 2 still is in my head rent free right now. But
I mean like hand to hand fight.
Hand to hand. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it, but
yeah.
I will say
the ending of Iron Man 2 is peak.
Yeah, I will say I do like with this intro. It feels very much like a Call of Duty campaign mission because you got the hostages, you got like going into the engine room and stuff like that. It's very a la COD 4 at the beginning with Wetworks. But I know you don't get that reference, but someone might.
I don't, but it's fine. I really like how, like you mentioned, like the spy mission. I really like how Romanoff has a separate mission that Steve doesn't know about. It's like such a good choice because she's a spy. Like you're kind of set up like Steve is kind of being fed up with S.H.I.E.L.D. Like the start of this movie sets that up a lot, but the way that she has her own separate mission is great.
Yeah, and going back to her real quick too. Yeah, I'll just say this too. I really still do not have a problem with her beating up all these guys so effortlessly.
Dude, I wrote down Black Widow taking out 5 guys like it's nothing is sick. Because like the way that she like jumps on the first guy and then like pins him down and shoots 2 of them through the grate. Awesome.
Yeah.
How can you have a problem with that?
It's just it's very much like neckbeards. I want to be like, oh, it's not real, buddy. She's teamed up with a Captain America. All right, it's fine.
Yeah,
it works.
Yeah, it works very well.
And then,
what do you think of Cap's shield suit, which is like kind of his but different?
I actually think it works really well. It kind of serves a thematic purpose, which is kind of cool.
It so does. It's awesome.
Which is kind of cool for one of these movies to finally do. I like that
Giving
a lot.
him a costume that has a thematic purpose and then taking it away from him later and putting him back in the red, white, and blue, which I'm going to bring up again later, is so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's more muted. It's more diluted. Even the shield is.
Yeah, because he, at this point in this movie, is so confused on what he feels is right and wrong, you know?
Yeah.
It's muted. The American colors are muted, and then once he finds his purpose, finds out, discovers a little bit more stuff, that's when it comes back.
It's so awesome.
It's sick. And I also just want to add, I forgot how badly Steve can mess up dudes. This dude is lethal.
It's always funny how much you forget it, because you're like, I mean, yeah, like, he's stronger than average. Later in this movie, he pushes like this giant metal shelf just out of the way. Casually. And I was like, and like he's struggling with it. And I'm like, oh yeah. He's crazy. I think it really sets up for some very fun fights where he's taking out a lot of dudes, and then it also shows you immediately. I forget the term for this, but it subconsciously makes you think, "Wow, he's really strong." So then, when he's fighting the Winter Soldier and the Winter Soldier's holding his own, you're like, "Oh no, this guy's also really strong." Without them having to say he's so strong. Like they never say that, right? Like
they
Black
just
Widow
show it.
Like,
yeah,
he's scary, but like it's all shown, which is awesome.
Like this dude's being stealthy as hell and making no footsteps or anything, knocking dudes out with one punch, taking on like 5 groups at a time. It's crazy.
Legitimately, it's awesome. Where's your next note at? Because I don't have anything until Project Insight.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that was my next thing is that the big gunships, you know. Um,
Hmm.
I I do think it's a fair thing to do after, New York. But I am with Steve. I agree. It's like Invincible, where he's not wrong for wanting precautions. I get it. You're kind of going about it really weird though, like not in a great
Yeah,
way.
you're going about it in a very weird and fascist way of
Mm-hmm.
like Minority Report. The movie exists in this universe. Like we've done the whole future crimes thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the line that really sticks with me. There's a lot of lines that stick with me through this movie, and one of them is when Steve says, "By holding a gun to everyone on Earth and calling it protection."
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Mm-hmm.
at that point, I'm Nick Fury, and I go, "You guys, he's right. We gotta shut this down."
I think if
That's
Captain America is arguing with you about you being in the wrong, you just got to wrap it up. I don't know what to tell you.
real, real. We'll get to Civil War.
We will.
Um, I adore how consistent Steve is with his morals throughout all of these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like he even has the idea of like not trading lives now, and like that won't pay off for literally years to come.
Mm-hmm.
And but like that's being set up now. Like it's this whole scene with Nick Fury, I think, is really interesting in a lot of ways. Of like, hey, setting up that Shield isn't what anybody thought, right? Because in Avengers, they're very altruistic from our point of view, right? Because Shield is good, the Council is the bad guys, right? Because they're trying to nuke New York. And then
Mm-hmm.
this movie immediately sets it up as no, don't let that narrative exist. You know, Captain America also believed that. And now he's at the point where he has to go, wait a minute, this is more complicated than I thought. I really like that it's the first person to really have to feel conflicted about the kind of morally gray things that have to be done is Captain America. Because I think that you really don't address it with Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Tony's like, oh, I'm just gonna stop making weapons and it's done, right? And he kind of has that, but I think Cap's the perfect character to really have to address the idea of trading lives, and he's so morally consistent, and it's very, very well written.
Mm-hmm. I don't really have anything else until he visits the Smithsonian and sees and the friends that are there on the wall.
Yeah, the
They didn't
Howling
disappear.
Commandos, they didn't disappear. I The way this movie uses the Smithsonian scene to sum up the entire first movie and remind us of Bucky and put him in our mind is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Because so often movies will resort to a character explaining the plot of the first movie. Instead, we get like the Smithsonian scene of also it's also Steve like reminding himself of who he is after he probably feels like, am I in the wrong here with this shield stuff?
Yeah, I love that this movie is doing a lot more, or especially early on, because later on it's not really like a question of moral ambiguity. But right now he's trying to decide, what's he fighting for? What's right? What's wrong? Because it's a lot more complicated now. Because this is like, this is modern day. This is after the Cold War and all that stuff. It's a lot more. It's not as straightforward. It's not as black and white as it was when he was fighting Nazis.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a great choice to have him be the one that has to confront all of this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the scene with Peggy?
It was very, very cute. Very cute little scene. But
Very
also
cute scene.
sad.
I think
It was very sad.
it's dude, it's so sad. The the dementia, like her hitting the like, oh my gosh, Steve, you're alive, dude. Shout out to Chris Evans' facial acting in that scene because you can just see it break him, but without him like emoting too much.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly acted scene. Yeah, it's a great scene. Sometimes the best thing we can do is start over. Put a pin in that for later. We're gonna hold on to that. My next note, I'm trying to read this to you because I think it's funny. Fury having one conversation with Steve and then seeing things be kind of off and being like, oh wait, we can't do this actually, is so real.
Yeah.
It's like what you said. Once you realize that Captain America's against you, you go, let me think about this.
Yeah. When you're Nick Fury and you realize that you are being locked out of your accounts, red flags. Red flags immediately.
Red flags. Red flags. That's bad. Hey, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
You were getting locked out of your accounts and you just had a kind of confrontational conversation with Captain America. Ooh,
Tap out.
that might
Just
not
call
be.
it. But you might want to just, I don't
Might
know,
not be
dude.
great.
My next note says, Nick, I don't think those are cops.
Cool. So that's a little bit ahead of mine. So I'm gonna jump backwards a second. I wrote down that the Sam VA scene is really good. I think that the contrast between like Nick Fury kind of like seeing things are off and figuring out if things are off, and Steve going to the Smithsonian and then going to see Sam at the VA. I think that it's a very good piece of character work as like Nick Fury kind of like, I won't say stews in, but like kind of gets introspective about it. He kind of like thinks about this stuff. And Steve's like, yeah, I'm gonna go think about this, and I'm gonna go talk to this guy I met one time and ask him, what do I do? And he doesn't like outright ask him, but he kind of asks him like, do I need a hobby? Like what is it?
Dude, he's struggling to be happy. He's struggling to be a person.
He's looking for like meaning because like he's always been like he's the eternal soldier, right? Like it's such a human thing. I would argue, I think going forward in the Avengers, we get this idea of like humans among gods, right? I think we especially get it, I guess, light spoilers with Hawkeye in Age of Ultron. But I think that a lot of times we forget that Captain America is a man from the 1940s. I think we made jokes about this in Avengers, about how he's just a guy from the 40s. And he went from like, I mean, really, less of being a guy from the 40s, he's a kid from the 40s, right? Like he is a young guy, got drafted into war, and is now kind of looked to by a lot of people as this like generational hero. But he doesn't know who he is without him being a soldier. That's great writing. And the fact that like I don't think a lot of writers would have wanted to address that. And you get that, and it sets up so well his struggles with S.H.I.E.L.D. and then basically pulling the entire house down around him. Like he just sets it all up so well. I'm going to glaze this movie, guys, for an hour and a half. I'm going to sit here and glaze this movie because if you want to see good character work, that's this movie. I will talk my piece about the Russos in a later one. What they are very good at is character work. I think that they understand a lot of these characters very, very well. And this is the best example of that. Is this scene with Sam and Steve that breaks them both down completely. You get Sam explaining, what happened to him and his and Riley, and then you get Steve saying that he doesn't know how to be happy. And we haven't even gotten to the fact that Black Widow gets to be a character in this movie. That's awesome. Like all this kind of stuff. Okay, I want to have you talk about the Nick Fury car chase scene.
I was going to talk about Steve just a little bit more. You know what's crazy?
Oh yeah, no, go for it.
He was born. They say in this movie he was born in 1918. So when did he went to war when he was like 22, 23, something like that.
Yeah.
He was what's crazy to me is we never even brought up that he's not racist. You know what I mean? He's that much of the GOAT.
He was 27 when he went to the ice.
He was 27. Oh, I guess 45. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's born in 1918.
Born in 1918. I assumed he got drafted like, 40 in 1943 or something like that.
Probably right around there. I think he was probably serving for 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, but he's not racist, and that's W. That's W, not racism.
That is W.
But
W, not racism.
Yeah, and then Nick Fury with the fake cops. Oh my god, I love that this dude has like 1,000 different backup plans to get out. The way
that he clocks that they're not cops immediately is so funny.
Dude, I love how perceptive everybody is in this movie. I was going to talk about this later, but I'll talk about it now. Steve, with like the elevator fight, immediately clocks it's not right. Immediately.
Dude, okay, let's just talk about it now. I was going to talk about it later with the elevator fight. Let's talk about it now. Everybody in this movie is a spy except for Steve and Sam, right? Yeah. And that is like ground level knowledge. The way that Steve locks into something isn't right, I need to pay more attention, and he can lock in and clock into that, incredible.
Mm-hmm. He's so aware. Like, he literally sees a guy holding his gun and a guy sweating, and he knows what's about to happen.
Yep. What do you think of like the whole car chase scene?
I think it's pretty.
Like your perspective on like the directorial side of things, because you tend to be more.
Yeah, I was about to say directorially, it's kind of Like I think this one's kind of bland. It's cool, like the when he's actually like fighting people, but there's a few too many times where it's like just shaky cam car driving and swerving for a little bit too long for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I think there's a couple cool shots of it, like cars in rear view mirrors and stuff that I always enjoy. I think overall it's fine.
Mm-hmm. And
It's a
then
good scene. I think it's a good scene if not a
it
little fun.
ends really cool, and I love the idea that like I said, like Nick Fury has all these backup plans. He's got all this tech inside his car just to keep him alive.
It's plans on plans on plans.
Yeah.
I love him, like the glass integrity 1%, and he shoots it 1% because he knows that as soon as it hits 0, they will open fire. So he has to open fire first. Like it's little things like that with him and with Natasha later on in this movie that make you go, oh yeah, they've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
Like this is their whole shtick. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then he shows up.
And then ore farming man himself shows up, and then he gets away with a lightsaber, and it's awesome.
Rename this movie Captain America: Hype Moments and Aura.
I will say they cook every
so
time.
Cool.
Russo brothers cook every time when it comes to him.
Every time he shows up, it's awesome.
It looks so cool.
So then Captain America goes back to his apartment,
and
so he talks to Sharon, right? Who we don't learn in this movie. What her last name is, but she has an aunt, who's apparently in the hospital. What a coincidence!
And a yapper.
So I guess he got Riz in the ice.
Yeah, what I don't know. I think,
because,
but
okay,
I also
okay.
part of hold
because
on, wait, hold on,
fumbling in Cap 1.
Yeah, hold on. I low-key think he was like being for real about that. Because he's at this point in this movie, he is so lonely. He just wants a friend. He literally says that.
I mean, she said like, what'll it cost me? He said a cup of coffee. Is it a date? I don't know. It's really unclear.
It's
either he got Riz in the ice or
yeah.
he doesn't know. And it's very possible that he doesn't know because famously terrible with women.
Horrible.
Throughout all of Cap 1.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible with women. He's in fact not horrible with one woman, and she is currently in her 80s. If not more.
And then this man is terrified of any other woman. of going and asking out.
I have a note about one of those later.
But I low-key think he was just doing it because he's lonely. Like, not even like a incel datey way. Like in
I didn't read it as incel. I read it fully as just like
no. I didn't mean it like
it's
that.
A little bit of,
I meant it like because like
yeah.
You could be like, I'm so lonely, but like that's not.
Yeah.
That's not
I
how
thought you meant the cup of coffee thing.
No.
Yeah,
That's. I don't think that's like weird lonely. I think that's like
Yeah.
realistic lonely. But he does. He's got Riz. He just doesn't. But the thing is, he's always had Riz. He just doesn't know it because he's also got anti-Riz.
I think later I wrote Steve realized he's hot and start getting away with saying things.
Yeah.
We'll get to that line later too. So he goes into his apartment post trying to Riz up. How?
Well, again, he's also very perceptive.
Is it weird?
And realizes he didn't leave his stereo on. Okay, yeah.
So he sneaks in through the window then, because you're right, he's incredibly perceptive. That's cool. I like that. I think this is the moment where he starts to clock in on being a spy.
Well, this is where he realizes that something's wrong, obviously, because Nick Fury is there.
Yeah. Yeah. And Nick Fury's there. I literally just wrote down good spy scene, baby. Also, my note before this is the song that's playing. Put a pin in that. We're going to come back to that one. Mm-hmm. This is a good spy scene. Mm-hmm. This is a great spy scene of them saying things, not saying what they mean. This is what half of Dune was that got cut from the movie.
Yep.
I really, really like it.
Yep. And that chase is hard. I don't got no notes about that one because it's hard.
And then the hardest thing ever, catching the shield.
Yep. And they for real try to make me think that Nick died too, but we don't. I mean, that's.
You want to set stakes? He catches the shield.
Yep.
Okay, who knows? Who knows that he's not really dead in this moment? Is it just Maria Hill?
I mean, he even had Natasha convinced, so I think it is just Hill.
I think it's just Hill.
And that one like doctor guy.
Yeah. It kind of goes understated in a lot of these movies. I really like Maria Hill and Nick Fury and like their working relationship.
Yeah.
They're very fun together. How like you can immediately tell how long they've worked together, and so like they just trust each other so implicitly. I really like that Natasha immediately starts questioning, like,
Steve.
what's up? Like, she's a
Yeah.
spy. She's like, why was he in your apartment? What's up?
And she immediately knows he's lying.
Yeah, you're a terrible liar. I know those guys are Hydra, and so like that's why they're questioning him. It is crazy to question Captain America and be like, "Did you kill Nick Fury? What up?" Like I know that they're the bad guys, like that's why it's happening. But imagine like the one guy who's not Hydra, and he's like, "Guys, I don't think that if I'm going to be completely honest, if he did kill Nick Fury, he probably had a good reason." Like,
and also just Pierce is like the most evil guy of all time. Like,
he's comically evil.
I actually like him in this movie though.
Oh, I love him in this movie. Cap is so mad at Sharon, giving her the full cold shoulder as he walks by because he thought she was just like his neighbor. Turns out she's an agent. He's so mad.
Because everybody's lying to him. He's just tired of it. I get it, bro.
He is. What do you think of the scene with Pierce and Steve?
Literally, all I wrote is Pierce is the most evil guy of all time. Like, it's not even like he's not even being subtle about it right now.
Yeah. I love that Pierce is telling the story about how he knows Nick to get Steve to trust him, and then telling Steve about Nick bugging his apartment so he doesn't trust Fury. Like he's trying to like.
Oh, he's playing it really well.
He's playing it
really well.
Perfectly.
Unfortunately, Nick got to him first.
Yeah. Also, I gotta say, I watched Steve get into the elevator and I got giddy.
Yep.
Like I recognized the elevator and I got so excited.
It's funny because like I didn't even I kind of, you know, like I knew it was coming. I knew it was in this movie, but then it focused too much on him in the elevator. I was like, oh, it's now. Oh, it's happening.
I mean, I'll just go ahead and I'll let you talk about it. I'll just let you go ahead and
listen. I know I was kind of dunking on the Russo brothers, but they knew what they were doing with this. They were eating this scene up. It is. I love how just Steve is tipped off that something's so wrong because some dude's holding his gun, and then everybody else is, and then the other guy's sweating. He's like, "All right, these people are nervous. These people are being weird." And then the Orpharm master, before he gets started, does anyone want to get out? And that's my goat. That's my goat.
It's so
That's
good.
my goat. I don't even care.
It's great. Because also the way he delivers it, it's just like, before we get started.
He's being for real.
Does anyone want to get out? Like he's giving them an out. He's giving them a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love that, you know, he beats them all up, obviously. And then they go, you have nowhere to go. And so he just jumps out of the window.
Out of the window, like multiple stories.
So many people jump out of windows in this movie.
Yep.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
So I really quick want to talk about the pacing because I wrote down here, I love how fast the other shoe drops and then this movie just sprint.
Yeah.
This movie does not stop for maybe the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is so well paced where it's like all of this build up. And then this really, honestly, it's the second that the cops pull up to Nick Fury. This movie doesn't stop. But this is the part that for Steve, this movie does not stop at all.
Mm.
And then he takes down a jet.
It's so goofy action scene, but I love it so much.
He takes down an entire jet by himself.
He's like flipping around and stuff. He catches the shield at the end.
That happens, I flip sides.
Yeah, literally.
I'm not going against that guy.
I don't know how you as a SHIELD agent are told you're hunting Captain America and think you're still like in the right.
That's even what happens, right? Is Sharon goes, hey man, why are we taking out Captain America? And there's a lady behind her that hits the like, it's a pretty good question actually. Like if you notice, like
yeah,
she's an extra, she has no line, she just goes, you know, it's pretty good question. Like it's so funny. I really like Black Widow chewing the gum behind him.
Yeah, it's so cute. I love that part too. She's kind of a queen.
This is the first moment that I was like, oh yeah, their chemistry in this movie's insane. Because it's like from now until they go to Sam's house that you get this like incredible bits of character work between these two, right? How he's like, you know, what do you know? What are you involved in? And this is the first time that she like fully opens up, fully tells him the story. She's like, no, this is the Winter Soldier. This is what's happening. And keeps teasing the Winter Soldier theme.
Mm-hmm.
Like we get little bits and pieces of it in the score, and then like the first time it comes in the first time later, but it keeps getting teased, and it's so good. What do you think about this scene between these two?
I really do like it because, like you said, the chewing the gum thing is such a cool shot. Actually, I like that Steve trusts Natasha. I kind of question why he would, especially when like, because like the people in his elevator were part of his squad, you know.
Yeah,
So I kind of question why he would trust Natasha, but they've been through a little bit more together. And when she has the hard
yeah,
drive or the flash drive, he doesn't have a choice at this point, you know.
yeah.
So
I
I
think
actually do kind of get it.
yeah, I see what you're saying because it's the question of why. I think it's one, they're both Avengers, probably
hmm
is part of it.
Yeah, I get it.
Because
hmm
because it was what her and Barton were the only two. Well, Barton, I don't know if he's technically an Avenger at this point. Yeah, he is. He's in the third act as an Avenger.
Yeah.
So like of all of the agents of Shield, they're the only two that Fury was like, "You're Avengers."
hmm
That's honestly probably it.
Well, like I said, he doesn't really have a choice. She has the hard or the flash drive.
Yeah, he also does not have a choice. Yeah.
Um,
This is where she says bye bye bikini, and he says, "Yeah, I bet you look terrible in them." And I was like, "Oh no, he realized he's hot. He's gonna get toxic now."
he's just being a silly little guy. He can be a silly little guy sometimes. I'm okay with
He
this.
he can be a silly little guy sometimes.
I love that
Do we want to look
anytime.
up a straight ship?
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, you keep talking. I'll look this up.
Okay. I also want to say, I love that for whenever these characters need to be in a disguise or not hidden in public, their go-to is hood up or hat on with glasses.
Hat on, shades, and let me tell you, it's gonna be in every movie from now on out.
Yup.
Whenever this happens, I gotta turn my Discord on Do Not Disturb. I'm getting pinged in the Discord.
Mm.
Whenever this happens, this is gonna be it for the rest of these movies.
All right, look up that straight ship. What are we looking at?
We're looking at 6,000.
Wait, was Sam and Cap at 2,900?
Yeah,
There's more. Well, I mean, I could see it. They're written more as friends in this movie to
Yeah.
me, but I see it.
yeah. Oh, I think they fully come off as friends in this movie. Yeah, a lot of these are tagged friends to lovers. It looks like that's fun.
Okay.
This one's tagged League of Legends.
Wrong thing. That's the wrong thing.
Interesting. Anyway, I wrote, I like Black Widow getting to shine and be a character. Second Captain America movie, second written woman. Coincidence? I already went on my rant last week in The Dark World talking about how Jane was treated. This is the exact opposite. This movie does more for Black Widow than I think any movie does until the movie Black Widow, and even then I might argue this movie does more. This movie's great when it comes to her characterization, and it sucks that it's going to backtrack in a couple movies. Shout out to the writers of this movie for making her a good character, like for writing her as a well-written character and not who she was in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think this movie pairs well with Avengers 1, where she was a simple character in that, where she's like, I just want to atone for my sins. She's got red in her lectern. I think this movie helps too, especially because how much she has to give up to win in the end.
Yeah, it's awesome. This movie does wonders for her character. Especially, I think it's a lot of show don't tell in this scene where she is so chill throughout the entire mall sequence, and he's so tense.
Mm-hmm.
He's not having it at all. That guy comes over and he's like, "So, what are you guys looking for?" And he's like, and she just immediately locks in.
Yeah, she makes up the story about them being fiancés.
Yeah. I really like the lines. Public displays of affection make people uncomfortable. And he said, yes, they do. He's such a guy.
He's so
He's
wholesome.
such a silly little guy.
And then when they steal the truck too, and she's like, "Well, you stole this truck," and he's like, "We're borrowing it. Take your feet off the dash."
He's just such a good guy.
He is. He feels so bad. Great. It's awesome.
I was gonna nitpick where did he get the shield because he has the shield in the next scene, but I figure he just put it somewhere and then went and got it when they left the mall. I don't think it's that deep.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other notes about the mall scene before we go to them at the camp?
No, but I'm just gonna throw this thing in about the bunker. There is a picture of my goat
Yeah,
Phillips, and that's all I just wanted to mention about him because they didn't bring him up
there
in the
is.
beginning. Yeah, they show him for like a
Oh, I
half a
missed it.
second because they focus on Howard and then they focus on Peggy,
Yeah.
and then he moves his head and
Oh, and
Phillips is
he's
standing
there.
right is right next to Howard.
Him, them both acknowledging Stark, her asking who Peggy is, and him just not being able to say anything does so much better than him saying. Like, it's so much better than him saying anything there. What do you think of Nazi computer? What do you think of Grok?
I actually think it's a really cool connection to the first movie because you don't even think about him, like what happened to him, because like you don't really think about, like, most of the other characters are pretty standard. Like Peggy goes on to make Shield, further develop it with Stark. I'm assuming Phillips helped with that too or whatever, and then the friends are
I'm assuming that
go back
he did
home.
everything.
And then you're like, oh yeah, he was around.
Oh yeah, I forgot that the U.S. government recruited a whole bunch of Nazi scientists in post-World War II so that we could win the Cold War. We did do that.
Yeah, and then he was explaining Hydra's plan. Like, yeah, like you said, it's historically sound because that's what happened.
Yeah,
and then the Hydra's plan makes a ton of sense.
Explaining the plan. It's so good.
I'm actually impressed. They made a villain's plan make sense.
Yes. I love how this movie is like a build on the villains of the last movie. It's not just like, oh, new villains. It's like, no, we're building on what happened in the last movie. It feels more like a continuation.
Yeah, this is their next evolution where they can't physically beat everybody on their own as a separate force.
Yeah. I think all three Iron Man movies having separate villains is good because I think the biggest thing that Tony fights in all of his movies is himself, right? He's inherently a man versus man story of him trying to overcome his own personal demons, right? I think that Steve's three villains being so closely related is such a good choice. It's such a good choice. And it's so great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, also with Iron Man, he goes through, he fights his demons and stuff like that just in time, to actually defeat the physical threat. But I feel like with Steve, the physical threat is the thing that forces him to confront himself,
Yeah. Yes.
I think
awesome.
I think that's really, really cool.
It's really good character work. I'm going to say characterization again later. Don't worry. For everybody who has the bingo board out. I just wrote Bucky is so aura in this scene. What scene is that? Oh, it's the one where Pierce is at home.
Oh yeah. Well, with also
and Bucky doesn't say a word.
Yeah.
He's just sitting in the corner.
My nitpick of the movie, real quick, is that they took an elevator down into a deep bunker, like hundreds of feet, but then a missile struck them, and then they were suddenly like near the surface.
Yeah, good nitpick.
Good nitpick.
I don't have a counter. Usually I try to counter your nitpick. I don't have a counter for that.
Yeah.
Bucky, Aura Farms. I love that Sam is so down to help them immediately.
Yeah, he just wants to be part of the group, dude.
He's like, yep, come inside. Okay, I'm going to talk about Black Widow again now. Unless you have something to say about Sam.
Go for it.
Before I do.
Go for it.
This scene here between her and Cap is the best characterization of her in any of these movies, probably. I really, really like these few lines that they have between each other. And the moment they start really trusting each other, where she's like, would you trust me to save your life? And he says, I do now. Like, I think this is the moment that if this scene doesn't happen, if this moment doesn't happen, she doesn't release all the files at the end. This is, I think, like the crux of her character and like the big turning point of her character. And I really, really like that. And shout out to the writers. This is a very, very well written scene. This is great characterization.
I think this is the moment too where she realizes, oh, he's kind of him. I can kind of trust him, actually.
Yeah. They both realize that everything they've been working for is bad, null and void. Also, I need to get a Sam line. Sam says, Captain America needs my help. There's not going to be a better reason. We're putting a pin in that. We're going to come back to that one. Cool?
Sure.
The senator from Iron Man 2 is a Hydra agent.
Dude, I saw that. I wrote that down too because I said, is this the same guy?
It is the same guy. This is such a perfect, like, interconnected universe moment because if you don't know, if you didn't see Iron Man 2, it doesn't matter. But if you did, you're like, oh, that's the guy. Like, that's how so many of these, like, interconnected things should be.
Because I mean, Tony appearing as Iron Man probably put a huge wrench in their plan for a good chunk of time.
Oh, 100%. We see he's on the assassination list
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he shows up.
later. Yeah. What do you think about the interrogation
Uh, which one? Which interrogation?
of them basically kidnapping that agent and then
Oh, right.
throwing him off a roof?
Well, the bit of Natasha still trying to get Steve laid in the middle of it is so awesome. I love that bit.
So she says, "What about this lady?" And he says, "Lip piercing. I'm not ready for that." Howard.
He doesn't understand. Let him get there on his own time. Okay?
Howard.
He doesn't.
Steve
No,
Rogers,
trust.
you are a coward. This is why I'm siding with Tony in Civil War. You are a coward.
Let him get there on his own time, okay? He's not ready for the goth mommy. His last girlfriend was Peggy, okay? She was British. You gotta give him some time.
He's like, I'm just not ready to date a girl that doesn't have an accent. It's like, it's really weird, you know?
I also...
I'm not ready for that.
I also just, going back to this, I like that we kind of just skip over them getting Falcon his, like, suit. Because, like, we don't need to be seeing all that.
No, they're both good at it. Like, it's way better that it gets revealed that he has it rather than us seeing them.
Yeah.
Also, it would have killed pacing.
Yeah. And then Stephen Strange gets a name drop?
Okay, I'm gonna talk about this. So this is something that's actually, because I paused the movie and Googled some stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these actually don't pay off. Stephen Strange does pay off, but he does not have powers yet in the timeline. So it's just that he's such a good doctor that Hydra wants to target him.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
The news reporter in Cairo, people said it has to be Moon Knight. No iteration of Moon Knight that I know of, as someone who's read a lot of Moon Knight comics, has ever been a news reporter. But it's a person in Cairo, and they were like, it's got to be Moon Knight. The valedictorian in Iowa, we don't know. Some people said Ironheart, but she's from Chicago.
Yeah, I think some of them were just kind of show the brutality, because that's a valedictorian in high school.
Yeah, I think that not all these were meant to be like paying off, but it is worth noting that Stephen Strange does pay off, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think some of it was just to show the extent they're going to, and like the brutality. Like, yeah, nobody's safe. Not even a kid in high school. Not someone in Cairo. It's everybody.
Yeah, it's worldwide. It's everybody. Then he gets yanked out of the car and thrown in front of a semi.
Yup.
Jump scare.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And then he stops himself with the metal arm.
Mm-hmm. Does Bucky, like...
Hype moments
and aura.
And aura.
So obviously, like, Bucky he doesn't have super soldier. He's got metal arm.
He does have super soldier.
He does have super soldier serum? Did they show that? Yes. Oh, I guess I kind of did.
That's in the... I believe it's established in a later movie, but he does have it.
Okay. Because, I mean... I get that he's like still young because they cryogenic froze him. I get that.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering about that though.
Yeah, he is. I'm pretty sure. I might get corrected in like a month and a half, but I'm pretty sure he's super soldier as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, fair enough.
Can I just say that them handing Bucky the weapons so that he doesn't have to carry them is so aura.
It is. This is another scene where I'm not going to complain about the directing.
The directing in this scene is very good. I really like the
fight. Very good.
Yeah, you just want to talk about this fight? I have a couple things to say, but
yeah. I'll start. I feel like Winter Soldier should have been hitting his shots a little bit more. He did eventually hit one on a main character with plot armor. So there you go. Good job, buddy. You broke it. You broke the plot armor. But obviously, are we skipping to the 1v1? Or do you have more to say?
I have a couple things before the 1v1. This isn't canon, but this is our show, so we can say whatever we want. I like to think that ever since she got shot through the stomach by the Winter Soldier, she has carried around those little like circle taser things in case she ran into him again because she thought that could disable his arm. And I'm just gonna live with that idea for the rest of my life. I think I'm just gonna believe that now.
Solid headcanon. And
then wait to the 1v1. The knife flip.
Yeah, it's peak. It's obviously peak. This is probably my favorite hand-to-hand combat I think this one's just kind of peak.
Sebastian Stan, you will always be the hottest man alive. Congratulations. I realized something during this fight. This is like Toxic Yuri, but with men.
Yeah, literally. It's all right. We can talk about it.
So, let's go to our favorite website, Archive of Our Own.
Wow, we've been rapid firing this website.
This is the third time we've gone on.
Well, we've already talked about this one, right? Because we talked about it in Cap 1.
We talked about this one in Cap 1. I think we can talk about it more in this one because now we can kind of talk about the whole
I don't know. Should we save it for Civil War though?
I think it's important to note in this one.
Okay. That's a fair
They're
point.
so gay for each other in this movie. Steve is so gay for Bucky in this movie.
Yeah. Steve is gay
crazy.
for Bucky, and then Sam is gay for Steve.
Yes. It is crazy. You forget how, like, he's like, no, it's Bucky. Like, he's in there. Like, I know he is. And I get that he's his best friend, but, like, I know what you are.
We see the closet is glass, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
The closet is glass. I see this here. Maybe we were reaching with Tony and Rhodey. Maybe we were reaching with Happy and Tony. They're reaching for us with this one.
Yeah, no, I
let
agree.
that be known. Do you think this fight is exciting for Bucky because it's like probably like the hardest fight he's ever been in?
Oh, probably. I mean, this is like the first time it's actually like a challenge. But I also think he's I think he's a little bit too messed up in the brain to really be really be like
feeling
that.
joy.
Yeah, that reveal though is peak.
So it's a perfect reveal.
Yeah,
I have genuinely a perfect reveal. No notes. The score hits. Both of their performances are, dude. Chris Evans looks like he's seen a ghost, which he has. Like, you know, like Steve Rogers has seen a ghost in this moment, but still, like, dude,
who the hell is Bucky? Has a perfect line.
It's perfect. This movie's so good.
Mm-hmm.
You ever think about like the optics of arresting Captain America in broad daylight with a gun to his head?
That's what I was about to say. Because like, I get that he's like stun locked because he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah,
but them just immediately going and arresting him, gun to head, and they're like, "Oh, we probably shouldn't do this here."
Yeah, him be like, lower the gun. We can't do it here. Like, they're like, wow. Like,
it actually the plot armor makes sense. It makes sense.
Plot armor makes sense. I think we only address it really in Avengers as like the average person's view of this. Okay, ready? So you have lived through the Battle of New York. You lived through all the Iron Man movies, all that kind of stuff. You turn on the TV, and there are agents holding a gun to Captain America's head in the street. You're on Captain America's side.
Yeah. Like, it's not even a question.
It's Captain America.
You watch this dude save so many lives.
The American government found this man in the ice. Less than, I think, like a month later, he is in New York fighting aliens. He could have retired and no one would have judged him. Nobody. But he chose to come back and fight aliens in New York.
And then and then someone has a gun to his head. I wonder if there was
someone had a gun to his head in the street. Now, there will be an audience who will say he should have complied. But they're wrong.
He did though. He complied at this point.
He did.
At this point,
they put a gun to his head.
At this point in the story, he complied. He literally put the shield down and everything.
He did. It's crazy. Also, I did write down that it's crazy that they shoot Black Widow in the scene. Like, there's like it's a jump scare shot too, where you're like, oh, she's fine, and then she just gets shot, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, and the Winter Soldier fight.
My next note is, right when you forget about Maria Hill, she appears again. I love spy movies. This is something that I love it when spy movies do, where like enough time has passed that you kind of forget about one character, and they just boom appear again right when like they're needed.
Yeah,
it's awesome. I love it. I love spy movies. The Doctor is one of the Russo brothers.
Really? I thought he looked familiar.
Yep, he's one of the Russos. He's also in Endgame.
Oh yeah, because he's gay in that one.
He is gay in Endgame. I don't think he's gay in real life. I think he's just gay in Avengers Endgame.
He's just gay when it comes to acting, I guess.
Assigned gay by Avengers Endgame.
Hi, Nick Fury.
I wrote, Nick is okay.
Hi, Nick.
The moment where, like, I think it's a good reveal that he's alive. Here's the thing. I think that probably a lot of people assume he's secretly alive, but I don't know how many actually do. Like, you get like the whole like spy movie thing. How many people think that he dies there?
How many people do I think? What would you say? Sorry.
Like audience member wise, how many people do you think are like, oh yeah, he's dead?
Who's our guy in the theater?
Oh, Gary.
Yeah, Gary. He knows he's fine. He's read the comics.
Gary knows he's fine because he's like, oh, Nick Fury has a lot left to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's not as big of a character in the comics. He became a lot bigger of a character once.
Okay, then Gary's probably 50-50 on if he believed it or not.
He got race swapped.
He did get race
in the
swapped
comics once the movies came
true.
out. Samuel L. Jackson's performance is so good that he got race swapped, and there wasn't. I don't think there was an outcry about it.
Mm-hmm.
There probably was actually. What am I talking about?
I don't know.
It was dumb, but
well, I think because
we were in that sphere.
I think because the last movie was Thor: The Dark World, where there's a Loki fake out death scene. People's defenses might have been up a little bit more.
If I had a nickel for every Thor movie with a Loki fake out death scene, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot. It's weird that it happened twice. I love that Steve refuses to compromise and is like, it all has to go.
Yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. is just too far gone at this point. It's not a cancer that can like cut out.
It's Peggy's words. You got to start over.
Mm-hmm.
The moment where Fury says, I wasn't sure who to trust, and it cuts to Black Widow, is more character work than Jane got for all of Thor: The Dark World. And I promise I'll stop talking about Thor: The Dark World now. Do you have any other notes on this like Nick Fury scene before we talk about Bucky?
Nope. Let's talk about Bucky. Poor Bucky. Owie.
Bucky's getting groomed.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
It's almost an impressive thing about how every single fascist manages to make it about order versus chaos.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That scene between Steve and Bucky was really cute, though. That should have been in the last movie, I think.
The flashback?
Yeah.
Dude, I got emotional at the flashback.
It was such a good scene. Like, it should have been in the last movie to make it his death work more.
If anybody was like, I don't know, man, why do you really want to save Bucky? You show him that scene, and I go, we gotta save Bucky.
Dude, he was gonna go, like, his parents died. No!
We gotta save Bucky so badly.
Yeah. Do you think they opened that apartment door and, like, pounded it out on the couch, or?
No, his parents just died. His mom just died. Probably
yeah, but
not.
you could do, like, a sad pounding. You can be sad while he's doing. Bucky's like, you know what, Steve? You could be top tonight. It's okay.
I can't believe I get to put sad pounding in the episode description now. How do you think Stan Lee's gonna get a job now? Because like he was at a pageant, and now he got fired from the Smithsonian. Like, man. Rough little bit.
Hi, Stanley.
They put him back in the red, white, and blue.
Yes,
to fight more Nazis, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir. And then you know who shows up.
This is what I wanted. And Danny Pudi.
And you know who shows up? It's Abed.
Danny Pudi.
It's Abed.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. Community is now canon.
Yes. We had a close call because I thought there was a Jeff Winger in here.
You thought it was Jeff Winger. It's not. Community is now canon. So this is Abed. He graduated from community college and went to work at S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, but he's like a filmmaker. Is he doing this to prepare for a role?
He's doing it probably to prepare for a writing exercise.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. This is canon, by the way. We didn't make this up.
Mm-hmm. We didn't make it. This is canon. What a speech.
Dude, my goat can give a great speech. Oh my god.
We'll put a pin in that, but what a speech.
And I love that it worked. It worked on a lot of people.
It worked. Hey, you want to know what action looks like? Hey, you want to know what taking action, like localized action, looks like? It's that one guy refusing to launch the ships.
Yep.
In a room full of people it would be easier for everybody if he just launched the ships.
Mm-hmm.
It is him saying, no, I'm not going to do it.
Because that's
the hard
thing. That's the hard thing to say no, but it's the right thing.
Because it's Captain America, baby.
Because Cap said it starts with you.
It starts with you. It starts with you. Read into what we are saying. It starts with you. I will say, so at this point, Cap puts in the first thing. And it's like boop, and it works. And then it cuts to Sam fighting for his life.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to Steve, and he was like, "Yippee! I got the first one in, guys." And it's like, "Sam, how are you doing?" And he's like, "It's terrible out here. I hate it so much. Oh my gosh, I'm getting shot at." It's like, "Ooh, Captain America, I'm having a great time." Natasha, I'm having a great time, doing my spy stuff. Then it's back to Sam, and he's having a terrible time getting shot out of the sky. Rough day.
Yeah, rough day for him.
Rough day for Sam.
But I will say, this plan is actually very smart. It is very well thought out.
Incredible plan. This is what happens when you have spies making the plan.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Black Widow mask.
Yeah, the reveal. I really do think Pierce actually works as a villain in this movie.
He's so good. We got to do the Mission Impossible movies at some point.
Yeah, I've not seen any of
The
those.
mask.
So
You haven't seen any of them? Oh my gosh, we got to do them at some point. Pierce says, "Are you prepared for to have all of your dirty secrets outside, like your whole past on the internet?" And she just looks at him and goes, "Are you?" And there's her arc.
mm-hmm.
And now we have quantified that's her entire arc. Good job, we did it.
She like hesitates for like a
Look at
brief
that.
second, but then she locks back in and she's like, "You know what? It's worth it."
Are you? It's so good. And then Nick Fury, in a movie of hard lines, drops what I would say is the hardest line, where he looks at him and he goes, "You need to keep both eyes open."
Yup.
Gagged.
And then the last 1v1.
Isn't it crazy that all three best hand-to-hand fights in the MCU are all in this movie?
Literally. This fight is so emotional too. It's so good.
It's so good.
I love that he's like just pushing him away the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
And then as he climbs back up, he's just getting shot over and over.
I think he gets shot 5 times.
Yeah, he is shot a lot.
I have an idea. I've had an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I have a new question that you can ask your partner about, like, it's like if I get turned into a Will You Still Love Me? If I got Winter Soldiered, would you kill me or would you try to convert me back? But you didn't know if you could convert me back. So would you kill me so I would stop killing people?
If I was a
Would
worm,
you want me to
still
be
love me?
internationally? Yeah, it's like that. So everybody listening at home, go ahead and use ask your partner that, and then no matter what they say, get mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, if I got Winter Soldiered, what sentence would you say to me to snap me out? Because for him, it's I'm going to the end of the line.
I don't. That's a tough on the spot. He had time. Cap had time to think about it. Cap had a whole time to think.
So
about it.
by the time we next record, so by Civil War.
Oh God! All right, fair.
I want you to have an answer.
I don't think I can do anything as hard as Cap though.
No, it is not a Captain America movie if he doesn't sacrifice himself at the end.
Ingots.
That does snap me out. I think straight up. I think if you say ingots, I hit the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. What?
And you're like, oh, okay. All right, now you have to figure
there.
one out for me too. By the way, this isn't just exclusive.
Figure it out for you.
Mm-hmm. This isn't exclusive.
Do I have until Civil War? Or do I have to think?
Yeah,
of
no,
one
you
right
got
now?
time. You got time. That's all right.
Okay, I got time.
But yeah, no, I love that Steve always gets messed up. He gets messed up in his 1v1 because he gets shot like 5 times. He gets stabbed. He gets punched on the face because then he has to snap Bucky out.
It's so good.
Then finish
it's
it.
So good, dude.
Oh man.
Because I'm with you to the end of the line.
You're my mission.
It's you're beating me up, right? Like you're on top of me and not in the cool sexual way.
Yeah.
You're beating me up, right? And I just go, "We need a doom fist," and you lock out of it.
I stop punching and make eye contact.
You stop punching and you just go, and they say.
For context, I'm the number 1 Doomfist in the world, by the way.
Yeah, for context, he's like Luca, but for Doomfist.
Yeah.
Now this is Toxic Yuri, but with men. This is what I wanted. This is doomed Toxic Yuri, but with men.
It's so hot. His hair flowing in the wind too.
Dude, it's so hot in this movie. Shout out to Pierce dying.
Yep.
Remember, the only good fascist is a dead fascist.
Should have been a
shout
headshot.
out to him doing his part and dying. Shout out to Widow taking one for the team. I'm getting shocked. That's awesome. And then we have the payoff of Chekhov's Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, and Sam being gay too.
Marvin Gaye, Sam Gaye. What a gay movie.
Yeah. Yeah, the dick writing he does for him, where even at the end too, where he's like, "When do we start?"
He goes, right now, get in the back of the van.
Yeah.
You guys want to come to Europe? We gotta go to Pound Town.
We gotta
first.
go pound it out first, man. Hold on. And then post credits, Scepter, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver. Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Because we got Guardians teased last time, so now we'll tease Age of
Oh my god, I
Ultron.
forgot Guardians is the next movie. I'm so ready.
Eric's gonna text me. We're doing D&D tomorrow. Eric's gonna show up to do D&D and be like, "You want to just go record the Guardians pod instead?" Because I watched it 3 times today.
Nah, I mean for real. I don't even need to watch that movie to tell you everything I love about it. I'm just doing it
I don't think you do.
out of pure joy. I can't wait to watch that movie.
I need to be negative next week.
No.
I think overall, I'll give my review for this movie. I think overall, this is an incredible movie. I think it's crazy how well paced it is because so much happens. Like we talked about a lot that happens, and we skipped over so much that happens. I think we really downplayed Sam in this movie. I think Sam's really good in this movie. I know we downplayed him as like the Cap Glazer, which he kind of just is. But he also has like a very good arc in and of himself of like getting back into it and that kind of stuff. I think Black Widow is the highlight of this movie for me. When it comes to like character arcs and character work, I know that Steve and Bucky are on a whole other level, so like obviously they're number one. But like the character work that Black Widow does in this movie, or that they do with Black Widow in this movie, is genuinely great. It's genuinely impressive. I love it so much. Because I think that she's a character that very easily could have just been made this like femme fatale character in this movie. Instead, she's given depth and she's given a real arc. In this movie, I love her walking out of the committee hearing at the end, and being like, "Go ahead, arrest me. You won't." Like, I love it. I gotta highlight that because it's something that when we were watching this movie, I didn't realize how much really was missing from the last few MCU movies, and it's great. Obviously, Bucky and Steve's relationship is awesome in this movie. It's the core of this. It's the core of Civil War. Spoilers, I guess. I'm so excited about going back and going forward with these movies because of that and because of how good it does it in this one. The score I didn't talk about a lot. It's understated in this movie. I think it's a lot more understated than it is, especially in the first Captain America movie. But when his theme comes back, it comes back. The Winter Soldier theme is a highlight of the MCU scores to this day. Everybody in this movie gives 110% performance wise. Everybody in this movie is giving so much and all of it. And I think that this is genuinely such a great movie. I could glaze it for another hour and a half, but at some point I have to let Eric talk about his GOAT.
I love Captain America. That's my review. Nah, I'm kidding. I could just say that though, but yeah, no, this movie's pretty peak. I really like this. I don't know if I prefer this or Iron Man 3. I probably prefer this, just because I think the writing is so surprisingly strong in this, and the story. I think the story is probably overall better than Iron Man 3, even if I think Iron Man 3 has a lot more like directorial sauce. But yeah, my only like actual critique of this movie is the direction a little bit. I think it's just kind of boring, but it's not bad. It's just a little bland, but and then my nitpick is I just wish we saw Steve and Bucky a little bit more, like the Winter Soldier. But I also kind of rock with him being kind of like a ghost in the story, so I get that. So that's why it's just a little nitpick. But yeah, no, the action is pretty solid. It's a little iffy in some spots, but it's pretty solid. The writing is good. Performances are good. Song, score, or whatever is good. I like this movie. I like this movie a lot. That's my review.
I want to add one more thing to mine. I like that this movie's a different genre. I like this is a spy movie.
Yes.
There comes times where like these movies start to play with genres, especially later on, and I really like it. And I'm really glad this movie went full spy movie.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you, actually, Eric. Before we get into numbers,
Yeah.
Do you think the Bucky reveal of the Winter Soldier hits harder if there is a second Captain America movie between First Avenger and Winter Soldier?
Like if this was the third in the trilogy?
Yeah, like it's complete. Like number 2 is completely Bucky-less.
I mean,
And then
I
he
think
comes back in 3, or do you
yeah.
think it's better when he comes back in 2?
I think if they just had more scenes of the two in the first Captain America movie,
Yeah.
then it would have hit probably as hard as it could have.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think it's a really really well done reveal.
Oh yeah. Don't take this as me dismissing how good this is. Great. It's fantastic. I just wondered if I was thinking about that. I was like, I wonder if it's better if there's another one.
Yeah, I mean,
Between,
I
like,
could
to let,
I
like,
could
the
see
lost linger.
Yeah, there is a world where that is more impactful. So definitely, but I mean, I think with what they did is really really well done.
Yeah, I have zero complaints with how he's reintroduced in this movie.
I completely forgot that we've even watched Thor: The Dark World. Just wanted to say that.
It's gone. It's
Because
gone already.
you mentioned how this is like, because like this is a completely different genre from every movie we've watched so far.
Yes.
Such a breath of fresh air. Same with like Iron Man 3. Like these two movies are just so, they're so nice to watch.
They are. And Guardians next week.
And Guardians
dude.
next week. I cannot freaking wait for that.
Okay, give me a number.
9.
Yeah.
I was gonna like say
Just straight
like
up, yeah.
8.7, but nah, I'll just round it up. I like this movie enough to do that.
I want to give it a 9 because the big, I'm docking it 1 for the lack of directorial sauce, for sure. But other than that, I don't think I really have, because I don't think the directing's bad. I just think it's a little bland. I think you're right. So yeah, a 9.
That's our number 1 right now.
That is our
I
number
could
1 right
legit
now.
be talked into saying Iron Man 3 is like better at some point, I guess, but not right now.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know. It's almost like, I don't know.
Because
Maybe
I
it's
actually
tough to give an objective numerical ranking
Mhm.
to a piece of art that's this complex.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised with how much I really like Iron Man 3 and how much I've been, it's been on my mind.
Me too, because I knew that I really liked it. I was like, I really hope Eric likes it. I hope this isn't a situation of me like trying to talk him out of like a 6.
I'm still
So,
just thinking
I'm
about
glad you like that.
those action scenes in Iron Man 3.
They're really good. They're awesome. Big robots, little robots fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, I think that we could both say a number right now for next week, and we both would know what it would be, for what the movie's going to get. But you will not know yet. You'll have to come back.
I'm so excited
to have us talk about it. To talk about your favorite movie thus far, right? Is next week.
What, like in the MCU?
Like of the movies we've watched, Guardians is the one that like you're like that's my favorite of the ones like through where we are.
I guess we'll see. Who knows?
This is the most you've lampshaded it so far.
Who knows? I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Who knows?
I can't wait to
We'll see. Find out next week. Does Eric like Guardians or does he actually secretly hate it?
Oh my god, and I get to host it. Let's go.